Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to show you how to do your entire face with ShadowSense, the whole face. The one exception to that is the base. I did start with my Silk Primer, Pore and Wrinkle Minimizer, and top that with MakeSense foundation, and I used my Real Techniques Expert Beauty Brush to apply that foundation. The first ShadowSense I'll use is Sandstone Pearl, and I'm going to use that under my eyes to conceal and highlight. So as you can see, I just dab it on, and then I use that very same Real Techniques Expert Face Brush that I used my foundation, and I use that to just blend it out. You'll notice that I kind of stipple it and then blend it to really get a smooth finish. You'll also notice that I do one eye at a time, and that's because ShadowSense is a cream to powder product, so you want to work with it while it's still in cream form before it starts to set. I also added some of that Sandstone Pearl ShadowSense to my chin and the bridge of my nose, and then also my widow's peak, just to kind of highlight and brighten those areas, and then I just blended it out with the same brush. Now it's time to contour. For this, I'm going to use Mocha Java ShadowSense, again, eyeshadow for contouring. I'm going to use a very small amount, as you can see, very, very light-handed, less is more, and then I'm just going to blend it out with my Real Techniques contour brush. I love this brush. It's kind of short and flat and kind of angled, so it's super easy to use and chisel out those cheekbones. And blending is the name of the game here. You just have to keep blending until you get the look you want. You can always add more. It's buildable, but you can't take it away, so just go light-handed. You'll also notice that I blend the excess product up around the back of my cheekbone and onto the temples of my face. I personally feel like I have kind of a big forehead, so I like to contour my forehead as well. If you like your forehead, you can skip this part. So I just added a little more Mocha Java ShadowSense up around the hairline and just blended it out into my hair. I take the excess product that's left on the brush and just drag it down the sides of my nose to kind of contour my nose a little bit. Another optional step is to contour your jawline. If you have a double chin or you just want to accentuate and have a really sharp jawline, you can use some Mocha Java ShadowSense underneath your jaw and drag it around with that same contour brush. Next, I'm going to show you how to use Garnet ShadowSense, which is a darker brown, to get an even sharper and deeper, more dramatic contour. This would be something I'd do more for a glammed up look or a night out. So you notice I take a tiny, tiny, tiny dot, plop it right in that under the cheekbone area, and I'm using a pointed contour brush from Real Techniques to have a more precise blending with it. And then I'll take my bigger contour brush at the end to blend it into the Mocha Java that's already there. Again, this isn't normally something I would do on a day-to-day basis or during the daytime, but I just wanted to show you how versatile this product is. You can really build it by starting with the Mocha Java and moving on to something darker with the Garnet. The next ShadowSense product we're going to use is Snow. It is literally a white product, and actually when I was filming this video, it was the first time that I'd ever used it. I cracked it open while filming this, and I'm going to use that to further highlight my cheekbones. I'm going to just dab a small amount on top of the cheekbones and blend it out with a blending brush. You can see I kind of got too much, so I just grabbed a Q-tip and swiped away the extra before I started blending. Again, you want to go very light-handed with this product. For a more dramatic highlight, I'm just going to plop a little bit of that Snow ShadowSense on the bridge of my nose and the top of my lip and on the chin, and I'm going to drag the excess product up my forehead and just blend it out. The next ShadowSense I'm going to use is Mulberry, which is kind of like a really pretty rosy pink color. I'm going to use my Real Techniques blush brush, and I'm going to take the applicator out of the tube and just flick my brush back and forth on the wand to get a little bit of product on the brush. Again, you don't want to go heavy-handed. You can always build it up and add more, but it's harder to take it away once you get it on there. I just love the versatility of this product. We've already used it to contour, highlight, for blush, and now we're going to move on to the eyes. Now we're going to finally use ShadowSense where it's intended to be used, which is on the eyelids. I'm going to take my Sandstone Pearl to even out the color on my eyelids, so just to kind of create a blank canvas and get rid of any blueness or veininess on my eyelids. Sometimes I use Candlelight for this. Candlelight is a little bit darker than Sandstone Pearl, and I really kind of wanted a brighter look today. You can see the difference. Sandstone Pearl's on the left, it's a little lighter, but both these colors are great as like an eyelid base and to give you just a smooth canvas for your eye makeup. I'm taking my Mulberry ShadowSense again, the same one I used for my blush, and I'm going to work that into my crease. I'm just using a kind of pointed, fluffy eyeshadow brush, and you'll see I'm just using small circular movements to work that into the crease. Again, you really want to work with it while it's still in cream form. It begins to set up after about 30 seconds or a minute, and you want to make sure that you work with it while it's still wet. Now I'm going to take my Mocha ShadowSense again, the one we contoured with, and I'm going to take a slightly smaller and more pointed eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to lightly work this into the outer corner of the eye, again using small circular motions while it's still in a cream form, just to really blend it out. I kind of work it down across the upper lash line a little bit and create that kind of smoky, dark V look on the outside of my eye. Again, blending is the name of the game, so I'm just going to keep using that brush to work that Mocha Java into the crease until I'm happy with how it looks. And again, this is buildable, so I could always go back and add more. And if you're in the mood for a more dramatic look, you can take a little bit of Garnet. I just used that same pointed brush and got a very small amount of Garnet ShadowSense on there, and I'm going to further kind of smoke out that corner, just blending it back and forth and making a darker V. Next, I'm going to take this very small pointed kind of detail brush, and I'm going to use some Mocha Java ShadowSense and Garnet and blend it into the lower lash line just to slightly smoke it out. I don't want a super harsh line, so I'm not going to use onyx or anything too dark, and then I'm just going to kind of blend the edges out with a Q-tip. Time to do eyebrows, and for this I'm going to use Garnet ShadowSense, a nice dark brown, and a small angled liner brush. Some people like to use kind of the straight pointed liner brush. It's really up to you. This is just what I'm comfortable with. And again, I just take that brush and dip it onto the wand just to get a small amount of product on there, and then just work it into my eyebrows. For my eyeliner, I'm going to use Onyx ShadowSense and that same small angled brush that I did my eyebrows with. Again, I just get a small amount of product on there, and while it's still in that cream form, I just blend and work it into my upper lash line to create a little bit of drama, and then repeat that on the other side. You could do this on your lower lash line as well if you want a super dramatic look. And then again, if you make any mistakes just before it sets in a powder, get a Q-tip and clean up that line. I'm going to use my Snow ShadowSense again to highlight just under the brow bone. I'm just going to put a very small amount of product there and blend it in. I'm using a very pointed, precise eyeshadow brush. You can see it really makes your eyeshadow pop. And then I'm going to take that same brush and work a little bit of snow into the corners of the eye, the inside corners. This really works to like brighten that inner eye area, which can get kind of dark. Really makes you look more rested and just more awake and vibrant. This is the only other non-ShadowSense product I'm going to use besides foundation. I'm going to use Lexie Beary LipSense, and you know the drill. I'm going to do 3 layers, letting them dry in between, and then finish with Glossy Gloss. And as you probably know by now, this product is completely smudge proof, will not smudge, budge, smear, transfer, and on average for me lasts about 8 to 10 hours. So that's it. That's my full face of ShadowSense products. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe before you go.